Next up on the Cosmic News Network, First Contact with Joshua Put.
Good morning, Earthlings. Good. How you doing today?
Good.
How you doing today? Welcome
Morning,
to First
Earthlings.
Contact
How you doing
Radio.
today? Welcome to First Contact Radio.
To talk about all these things I'm talking about is because in life, everything is energy. Every single thing that's out there.
Yo, it's First Contact with Joshua Poet. He's the man on the mic, just in case you didn't know it. Covering news from all around the globe, from the weather and space to UFOs. He'll talk politics and make you open your eyes. Conspiracy theories and government lies. He'll dig it all up and try to find the proof. Cause it's time to demand the truth. It's time.
First Contact Radio. We have arrived.
First Contact Radio. It's time.
First Contact Radio. We have arrived. First Contact Radio.
It's time.
First Contact Radio.
It's time to demand
First
the
Contact
truth.
Radio. We have arrived. Good morning, Earthlings. How you doing today? Welcome to First Contact Radio. Glad you could be here. Today is the 20th of May. 20th of May. We're at the last day of Gemini. So we are at the astrological sign of Taurus. Right here, the Hierophant. You know this one by now. Hierophant, spiritual teacher, Hebrew letter Va means nail or hook, hooking together the spiritual with the physical. That's the whole idea here. That's what the Hierophant is supposed to be. Kind of the idea of a priest, someone, a shaman, a spiritual being in between who's learning to bring that spiritual into life. This is very important, okay? We get caught up in the physical world and we think it's be-all, end-all of everything. But there's still the fire, the water, and the air as well. So there's many other energies out there other than the earth. And the moon sign we're moving to before the end of the hour will be Cancer. Tarot card is the Chariot. It's all about emotions. Charioteer wears the armor in order to protect himself from all of the emotions so that he can make clear decisions. The Chariot here represents a vehicle. You have a person in the vehicle, in a suit of armor, which is a vehicle. You have the human body, which is a vehicle, all the vehicle for spirit. And the whole idea of this card is that when we allow spirit to flow through us, it allows us to move down the path of life in a very efficient manner. In this case, you have two sphinx, one black and white, representing the riddles of life, opposites. In order to get them to move together, we need to have spirit moving us down the path, because otherwise, if we're left to our own devices, sometimes we get confused. Like what's going on in the world now between the different skin-colored peoples. The brown skins and the black skins and the white skins and the red skins and the yellow skins. They're all having trouble getting along. We've got to let spirit help guide us in that direction. And we'll understand that we're all just crayons in a big crayon box. And it doesn't matter what color are, because we're all still part of the same family, the human race. And when we understand that, we allow that spirit to flow through. So the Chariot, very important. So we have the Chariot and we have the Hierophant. Those are the two energies we're working with today, representing Taurus and representing Cancer. All right? And nothing as far as any aspects we're looking at today. Further than that, if we go and we take a look here at our wheel, just gives a little bit more update. Again, this is where you can track the aspects we've gone through and the ones that are coming up. Okay, so we see right here the sun moves into Gemini in 18.6 hours from now. Alright, let's look at our Jewish calendar today. 20th of the month of May is actually the month Sivan on the Jewish calendar. The second day of Sivan. Yesterday was the first, so today's the second day of the month of Sivan. Omer count day 46 going into 49 tonight, or 47 tonight, excuse me. 49 is the final count we're looking to get to, where we'll be there this weekend. That is what the counting of the Omer represents, counting the Omer 49 days from the time of the Exodus to the time of the receiving of the Torah. All right, up on our daily thought for today, and that is defining your world. We're not passive observers of this universe, but rather partners in its creation. We are the ones who assign each thing its meaning, who bring definition and resolution to an otherwise ambiguous world. In fact, we are legal witnesses who determine a matter of life or death. For each thing we hold, each event that enters our life, our world declares whether it breathes with godly life or simply hides itself into oblivion. Okay. Current moon phase is a waxing moon. That means we're going back up. Remember, wax on, wane off. Okay, waxing up, waning down. So waxing moon means we're heading from a new moon to a full moon. We're 7% of the way full. Space weather. This tells us what the energy is around us in the cosmos. The wind that blows on us from the cosmos, called the solar wind, its speed right now is 435.1 kilometers per second. The energy around us, planetary K index, tells us that we are in a quiet range. This is a scale that goes up to 9. So right now we're quiet. The sun has no direct facing coronal holes, so there's nothing that we're going to get hit by from there. M-class flare possibility and X-class are both down to 1%, and geomagnetic storm activity is pretty low as well, dropping from 25 to 20 in the mid-latitudes. High latitudes, it's 30 to 35 as far as severity goes. And last, looking up at the sky tonight, we shall see this. Okay, we've got our moon right down here. Okay, if we look above the moon, this is 1 hour after sunset. If we look straight up above the moon, you're going to see Venus, and you can't miss Venus now. Venus is super bright in the sky. And then look left and up, and you'll see Jupiter. And Jupiter itself is pretty bright as well these days. Okay, so the moon, above it is Venus. Upper left of that is Jupiter. And where the moon is, right above Venus, you're going to see Castor and Pollux as we're entering into Gemini. Alright, and that's what's going on when you look at the sky tonight. Anything else that I missed out here? Let's see here. The waxing crescent moon shines under Venus this evening in the feet of Gemini, as shown here. The brightest star in Gemini's feet is Alhena Gumorium. North Americans can spot it not far to the moon's left or upper left. Okay. Very good. That would be this one right here. Alright, there you have it. That is our cosmic weather. Gets us started. UFO news is up next.
This is the UFO News with Joshua Poet.
Alrighty, Dirk. Thank you very much. So today, I've got a number of sightings here. Let me just set this up for you here. First one takes us to Ceres. UFO sighting over Ceres. Okay. Alright, and so let's see what we've got here. You may have seen some images of this. And doesn't seem to want to play, does it? Well, I'm just going to let it be, and I'm going to leave that up to you to watch that. Alright, here we have a sighting. This one took place up by the space shuttle. Or it says space shuttle seen flying near the UFO in SOHO sun photo. This comes from the 15th. So we've certainly seen plenty of objects up by the sun like this. This isn't the first one. These two UFOs were found this week in the NASA SOHO site by StreetCap 1. Found them and believes that one of them may be a retired shuttle being used by NASA to visit alien craft. In the solar photo, what we see looks like an outline of a space shuttle going up toward another UFO with wings on both sides. Wings would indicate this craft is using both water, air, and space. The shuttle-like object could be the secret X-37 shuttle drone, but I feel it is too small to show up in the SOHO images. Is NASA performing secret missions with alien craft? Yes. I know a person that works there from Taiwan. He's still there today. He said he saw a blue wheel craft that glows, turning on and on like a wheel that can travel in the moon in just a few minutes. He is a reliable source and has no sense of humor about such things. This may be a new shuttle made with alien technology. Kind of like the TR-3B. Alright, there you go. Let's move on to the next sighting. This one here is above Florida. Alright, we have our object in the sky. No real explanation of this one other than just sighting above Florida, 15th of May. Okay, here's our object, right smack dab in the middle of the screen. Seems like it fades in and out. Okay, I'm going to move on from here. Alright, what we have here is Khalifa catches UFO in his recent video. You see again. So there we go. Here he is making his video. There's the UFO flying behind him. Guys, there were a couple UFOs released of the song See You Again. But I first noticed the UFO disguised as a cloud in the Taiwan version at the 112 and 227 mark of the Taiwan screen. Then in 2-4 seconds, in a few minutes later, positioned with different lighting. So now the UFO is glowing all out. Kind of amazing. It looks like the UFO is trying to look like a cloud, but failed. I believe it was observing the singer and his crew filming the video. And why not? Seeing Wiz Khalifa doing his thing in front of the cameras, and for a good cause, the death of a friend. Now, I mean no respect to the passing of Paul Walker. His passing hurt us all. And I spoke to my Taiwan students numerous times about the good things he's done for others. My wife, son, and I saw his last movie and brought tears. So were aliens also moved by Khalifa's tribute song? Just sit back and watch an awesome tribute to an incredible actor. Alright, the link's there. I'm not going to click on that link because I'm going to leave that for you. Here we have a shot up on Mars, and we have, well, it looks like some type of being that's out for a stroll. Looks like he's on a walk, huh? Well, we've certainly seen lots of things up on Mars, so this isn't something new. Certainly one of many things. Okay, you see it blowing up there, and here it is down here. It's source, JPL, NASA photos. A figure was recently found on the surface of Mars, and it looks like walking past just as the Mars rover is taking a photo. The figure is only about 6 inches tall or less, similar to the other figures found on Mars, like this famous woman figure, which has a man's figure very close to it. This was found by Jason Hunter of YouTube. I would say it's an intriguing discovery. Alright, it's a good find, Jason. Check out the video, see what you think. Here we have Norway's Hessdalen Valley, where UFO Mania meets. Alright, let's get down here. Hessdalen is a village out in a long valley in Norway. It isn't just a pristine community, but it is also known for its occasional occurrences of luminous phenomena known as the Hessdalen phenomenon, which are the strange, hovering, and flashing series of lights. The glowing orbs appear to be as large as cars. That's why they have drawn attention from most ufologists. They are moving very slowly and are seen separately but reforming later on. They also winked in and out, and in most cases they shoot down the valley and disappear. In the human eye's point of view, you may see them but will vanish later on. When the strange lights appeared in the 80s, it attracted physicists. In December 1981, the hovering lights shone brighter. Residents took notice and the press descended as well. The occurrence of strange balls of light soaring over the valley in central Norway has mystified scientists and spectators across Europe for years. Ivar Gval, the Norwegian photographer, tells Time that he's also met oddball fanatic. The case has been divided, but most villagers are honest and sane. Alright, got a video here for you. Check it out. Moving on to the next story here. This was a sighting that just occurred above a PGA tournament. Okay, there's our image in question. So did a UFO share the field of a flying golf ball during a PGA tournament in Florida? Well, let's see here. Upon first examination, this is some approach shot. It was the Players' Championship part of the PGA held at the TPC Sawgrass in Ponte Verde Beach, Florida on May 9th. A viewer was watching the tournament on TV and noticed a weird object in the sky, according to the MUFON database. When you see the pictures, people may think, oh, that's a blimp, but after seeing the blimp in other clips, I can easily conclude that it's not the blimp. I also looked for other aircrafts flying by, and nothing seemed plausible. The object did have a reflective surface. In the picture, you'll see a golf ball, a bird, a flash reflection, and the other object is the unknown craft. Okay, location where it was, and that's what we've got for this one. And one last sighting. This takes us back to 1955. Disc shape seen by Senator Richard Russell in the USSR. Alright, a lot of people know sighting reports about UFOs, a strange object that flies through the air. But not only through the air, U.S. Senator Richard Russell, Jr., the Armed Service Committee Chairman, has spotted a mysterious disc-shaped object taking off from the near tracks where he was on a Soviet. Afterwards, he hastily called his interpreter and his military aide to the window and saw the mystifying UFO, and a minute later, anyone has appeared. On October 4th, 1955, just after 7 p.m. while on a train, the senator gazed out a window to the south. To his amazement, his eyes focused on a huge disc-shaped object descending slowly as a flame shot from underneath it. Then the object raced north in front of the train across the tracks. The first one ascended vertically at a slow speed, with its outer surface slowly revolving to the right at an altitude of 6,000 feet. The second disc has performed the same action. Russell dashed his alert to his companion, who looked out to see the second disc. As soon as they were out of Russia, the astounded trio reported the sightings to the U.S. Air Force, but the U.S. government has made the sightings secret for about 30 years. Alright, there you have it. That is our UFO news for today. As you could see, lots of sightings as always. Please check through and that info and see what else is there, and watch those videos because it's a lot of good info. And in the meantime, I'm going to jump away, but I will be back. Stay tuned.
What if our government was responsible for some of the greatest crimes against this nation? Would you really want to know? These are big questions, but these questions deserve answers. It's time to demand the truth.
People shouldn't be afraid of their governments. Governments should be afraid of
9/11 was an inside job. Kennedy was killed by the CIA. Jimmy Carter saw a UFO. Answers to secrets you need to know. So wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Patriots arise. It's time to demand the truth.
All right. So, the last song repeats over and over the words, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Why do you think that is? Because that's what we need to have happen. We need to wake up. We need to remind each other to wake up, because otherwise we're going through a world and we're sleepwalking through all kinds of events where those in power are not doing right by the people. And the people foolishly believe that they are doing right by them, at least some of them. And that's why we find ourselves in such a problem, because we can't come together on what is really taking place. It all boils down to this big battle that goes on between Republican and Democrats. And they have this battle back and forth. And we think that this is the battle, that this is the choice that we have. And we fight. And we think that they have different meanings. But basically, they're both on the same team. It's just a big ruse that the American people are involved with, unaware of what's going on. Behind the scenes, the powers that be, they put presidents in power. Presidents aren't elected. I know every year people talk about the election and all this nonsense. Presidents aren't elected, my friends. Presidents are selected. The powers that be select the presidents, and then the job from there is to do a PR campaign to convince the American public that the choice that they made will be the same choice that the people want. So you put out the PR effort, and that way when people vote, they're voting because they were told how to vote. Their vote doesn't matter at all. It just makes them think that they actually had something to do with the person in power, when it actually has no bearing whatsoever. Don't believe me, don't take my word for it. Look it up for yourself. And when you understand the process, then you understand that we don't need to continue to be fooled, that we can pull ourselves out of the system simply by being aware of what is going on. Now, we've got a lot of problems taking place in our government. And the biggest problems that I see is this division between the two sides that fight against each other. Democrats fight against Republicans, Republicans fight against Democrats, and yet both Democrats and Republicans have a common interest, and that is that they are both Americans. Yet we fight against each other because we've been divided. When one president is in power, the people that are part of that party, they support that president whether he lies, cheats, or steals. And then they condemn the other guys when the guy that's not for their team is in power, and vice versa, and it goes back and forth. And both sides are right, and both sides are wrong, because the people in power do lie, cheat, and steal. George Bush was around for 9/11. All the evidence shows that he knew in advance what was going on, and that 9/11 was a pre-planned event. Yet, you'll still have plenty of Republicans that will deny that, despite the evidence that has been collected and gathered out there. We've got a guy in office now who isn't who he claims to be, yet plenty of Democrats will support him without really knowing his true background. And that's kind of sad. Here's an article. Over the years, there's been the issue with Obama's birth certificate. Obama never presented a actual factual birth certificate. A certificate was presented on the White House website, but then it was found through forensic investigation of police investigators, the same ones who would put any other American citizen in jail, have investigated this and determined that that document, that item that was put on the website, was an absolute fraud. You can go find the links. I have them available at First Contact Radio. By all research, the man in office is a usurper to the throne. Literally, he is not an American. He doesn't believe in American. He doesn't like Americans. He certainly doesn't like white people. And quite possibly he's homosexual, as well as being Muslim. That's a whole different than what we know the man to be, right? Man said he was going to be the most transparent, yet all of the things that I mentioned are things that out there about him that we're just turning a blind eye to. Well, here's an article. This is someone who is a former classmate with his. Her name is Mia Marie Pope. Is ancient history now repeating itself? Back in 54 AD, 17-year-old insane Nero took over as Roman emperor and proceeded to have his mother killed, Christians persecuted and fiddled while Roman Empire burned to the ground. Nearly 2,000 years later, Barack Obama, previously known as Barry Soetoro, has taken over the reins of this once great nation, and while neglecting his duties to her for more rounds of golf, he has presided over near complete destruction of America as our republic turns to ashes. Former Barack Obama friend from Hawaii, Mia Marie Pope, joins the Hangman and Hagman report in the brand new video below. At the 48-minute mark in the show, the Hangman's warm, we better hold on to our seats because we are in for quite a ride, calling our sitting president clinically insane. Was Obama selected for the role he plays now precisely due to what we learned about him in this new video? Mia Marie Pope is a dedicated Christian who loves America and fully vetted by the Hagmans, and she told us that she's deeply concerned about the character now sitting in the White House, hands close to the buttons. Mia knew Barack when he was named Barry Soetoro and immediately informs us that Obama is afflicted with a psychiatric disorder and is in fact criminally insane. She goes on to tell us that everybody in 1970s Hawaii knew that Barry was gay and a heavy cocaine abuser. We are told that as a former friend of Obama's, people could tell that he was a Looney Tunes and 100% full of bull and had no empathy towards others whatsoever. She also informs us that she knows that she will be attacked for sharing this information. She shares in a video and tells the attackers to bring it. This is an outstanding interview by Hagmans, and Mia doesn't hold back on the foreigner and the imposter and former friend now sitting in the White House. Hold on for the ride. There he is right there. There he is right there. Okay. Folks, how do you like being lied to? Do you like it? I don't like being lied to. And yet there's many who have been lied to through this whole process. For those like myself who have been paying attention and haven't trusted one iota of what this man is about, none of this is a surprise. It's just sad. It's just sad to see that so many Americans have been duped. Really sad. I feel bad for the black community who truly bought into who this man was, and he's just betrayed them. Betrayed what everything is going on. This man is just a piece of work. I've told you over and over, I think this man fills the all the requirements of the Antichrist, and unless proven otherwise, he's the one who seems to be the crazy man that's going to do that Antichrist job. When it comes to the countless lies of the administration and that of the next one under Hillary Clinton, one has to just throw in the flag. Days after the Seymour Hersh exposed the biggest lie of Obama's first term, a lie which we learned was also facilitated and perpetuated by the CIA as well, the topic of the latest Frontline documentary, and how the CIA helped make Zero Dark 30. We get more evidence of the administration's lies, this time on the topic dear and sensitive, for the person who may well be the next U.S. president, Hillary Clinton, who, as a reminder, made up her story that on September 11, 2012, Benghazi embassy was attacked, was a product of a spontaneous protest of an obscure YouTube documentary by an American producer that lampooned Muslims. Only later did the administration concede that the attack was a terrorist operation. And now, according to declassified Department of Defense documents obtained by Judicial Watch, we learned that the Obama administration knew that al-Qaeda terrorists had planned the Benghazi attack 10 days in advance. Then Secretary of State Hillary Clinton and other senior-level individuals, including the Defense Secretary Leon Panetta, the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and the Obama White House National Secretary Council, were given intelligence within hours of the Benghazi attack, describing how it had been planned at least 10 days in advance to kill as many Americans as possible. So I'm going to leave this for you. The article is, if the public knew about Obama's lies and cover-ups, Mitt Romney might be president. Okay, so look, we can keep arguing over what's going on with this man. All we have to do is pay attention. We see the lies that are taking place. People are being betrayed in this country by the very leadership. They're being fooled. You know, how many times are you going to hear Al-Qaeda and not realize that Al-Qaeda is created by the Americans? How many times are you going to hear ISIS and you're going to think ISIS is some foreign entity? ISIS is headquartered in the United States. There's an office inside the Ronald Reagan building in Washington, D.C. ISIS is an intelligence operation. Don't take my word for it. Please don't. But go to Google and Google the words ISIS Public HQ. And you'll come up with a site. You'll see that they took the first letter I off their name, so it just says CIS. But as you read through the body and the text there, you'll see they're called ISIS. They're an intelligence operation that works in conjunction with the Department of Defense in all the places around the world where we're hearing ISIS is. Now, there are people out there that are extremists that are running wild and crazy, but they're not the organizers of it. The organizers is the intelligence operation that is pushing the buttons, finding those who are willing to go create havoc, and pushing their buttons enough so they actually go do that. When we actually listen to what's going on and pay attention to the lies, we actually might find out that we're being lied to. Here's another story. Ferguson protesters promised cash to simulate chaos. Now, Soros Group won't pay them, so they're protesting them. Okay, let's see if we can get to this one here. I'm not sure if this is going to happen, because it just seems to want to be stuck. All right. Point being that more lies, my friends, more lies. That you've heard the stories about these agitators that are out there. It says Ferguson protesters who were promised thousands of dollars by George Soros' organizations to protest, loot, and burn buildings are upset that they haven't been paid yet. In hilarious irony, they're protesting and occupying the offices of Missourians organizing for reformed empowerment, a Soros-backed organization demanding the group to cut the checks. They've created a Twitter hashtag and they promise to stage a sit-in outside the offices until they get their money. Okay, on May 14th, more began cutting checks for the money-hungry fake protesters, but not everyone got paid. Okay, can you say stupid is as stupid does? So, let's see. So what I understand here is you have a group of individuals who bought into a lie that a corrupt organization was going to pay them to go protest, loot, and burn down the city. So they went, protested, looted, and burned down the city, and now they want to get paid for it. But because they haven't been paid, now they're going to make a stink about it. So now they're out protesting. So they're protesting because they burned down a city and they didn't get paid for it. Okay? Yes, we are living in the times of idiocracy. When this kind of stupidity happens, it's just foolish. If someone commits a crime and they commit the crime on national television, a broadcast, or in the news like this, it's just, people aren't thinking. And I guess that's good for police because you just round up the dumb criminals, and if criminals get dumber, well, it's just weird. But par for the course, right? Par for the course. Par for the course. All right, NASA comes up with an international flag of Earth. NASA, the National Association of Space Actors, has come up with an international flag of Earth, and we think it's pretty cool. Made up of 7 white rings in an interlocking pattern on a blue background, it may be used in the future as we Earthlings go on to colonize other planets. It has been proposed by Oscar Perndefelt. Here's the thinking behind the design. Centered in the flag, 7 rings form a flower, a symbol of life on the Earth. The rings are linked to each other, which represent how everything on our planet, directly and indirectly, we are linked. The blue field represents water, which is essential for life. Also, as the oceans cover most of the planet's surface, the flower's outer rings form a circle which could be seen as a symbol of Earth as a planet, and the blue surface represent the universe. Here's the picture right there. All right. Very nice. So there you have it. A flag of the Earth, 7 rings. Very interesting. Very interesting. All right. So, bottom line is, look, we got to wake up, man. We really got to wake up. We have to stop buying the lies. Every day when I talk to folks and they tell me about where they get their news source, it is always mind-boggling to me that people select one news source and they accept that as the truth. I don't know about you, but I certainly learned during my travels that you don't accept the one source, that you read multiple sources, because one source could be biased one way. So you need to read and look at another source to see what that one says. And after looking at multiple sources on a subject, you'll then find out where the real truth lies, because you'll find it hidden between the words. Look, I don't expect you and don't want you to take my word for anything I'm saying. What I would like is for you to go look it up for yourself, to think for yourself. Because if we're all thinking for ourselves, that's the biggest problem the government will have then. They don't want people thinking for themselves. That's why they're working so hard to tell people what to think. So let's just flip the table on them, flip the script, think for ourselves, and everything will change. Think for ourselves. That's what we've got to do. All right, here's an article called DNA Upgrade Through the Merging of the Galaxies over at In5D. The picture below on the right shows the Milky Way galaxy as seen from Earth on a clear night. Since our earliest education, we have always been taught that the Earth, our Sun, and solar system belong to the Milky Way galaxy. New scientific evidence clearly shows that that may not be the case. One of the greatest astronomical mysteries is why the Milky Way is at an angle when seen from Earth. If our solar system emerged out from the Milky Way, would we not be in line with the whirlpool disk? But as it is, we reside at an angle to it. That long-time mystery has now been solved. New infrared digital survey of the entire sky was made in 2003. Teams from the universities of Virginia and Massachusetts use a supercomputer to sort through 500 million stars to create a new star map showing our solar system to be at the exact nexus crossroads where two galaxies are actually joining. We are now joining the Milky Way galactic community with all the implications thereof. A sense of shock came as scientists announced that the Sun, the Moon, our planet, and its siblings were not born into the familiar band of stars known as the Milky Way galaxy, but we actually belong to a strange formation with the unfamiliar name of the Sagittarius Dwarf Galaxy. How can this be? Using volumes of data from the 2-micron all-sky survey, a major project to survey the sky in infrared light, led by the University of Massachusetts, the astronomers are answering questions that have baffled scientists for decades and proving that our own Milky Way is consuming one of its neighbors in a dramatic display of ongoing galactic cannibalism. The study, published in the Astrophysical Journal, is the first to map the full extent of the Sagittarius galaxy and shows in visually vivid detail how its debris wraps around and passes through our Milky Way. Sagittarius is about 10,000 times smaller in mass than the Milky Way, so it is getting stretched out, torn apart, and gobbled up by the bigger Milky Way. We are at an angle to the arms of the Milky Way whirlpool disk because we did not come out of the Milky Way but the Sagittarius Dwarf Galaxy, which is now colliding with and being eaten by the huge Milky Way galaxy. It's always been known that the Milky Way collects material from other galaxies and overwhelms the smaller ones. The Sagittarius Dwarf Galaxy, from which our solar system came, is very, very small and being energetically consumed. We are about to join the Milky Way at the energetic level of the whirlpool disk. All right. So there you go. Very interesting. Very interesting. Always new findings out there with space because, well, scientists are still learning too. Just because they're scientists doesn't mean they know everything. Just means they're looking and searching. Alright, that brings us to a channeled message for today. This is Hilarion.
Hilarion.
May 17th through the 24th, 2015, by Marlene Swetleshoff.
Hilarion.
Beloved ones, those who read these messages are well aware of the energetic happenings upon your planet and the reason for them, but there are many, many others upon this world who are seeking answers that do not encompass the possibility of doom on their world. We wish to inform these ones that although there will continue to be earth changes throughout different areas of the world, humanity as a whole will survive and even thrive. And we strive to encourage everyone to maintain peaceful, loving, and harmonious thoughts, for these are very powerful and make a big difference. As you align yourselves each day and balance your own energetic field, it helps in the balancing of the global field of collective consciousness to which all upon the planet are connected to and influenced by. Those of you in alignment with the cosmic flow of energy are experiencing creative ideas that cry out for physical manifestation. Some of you are being inundated with a diversity of concepts that offer potential germination into forms of art, writing, new technology, inventions and the like. If these new concepts come into your individual field of expression and put you on overwhelm, just record the impressions and ideas for a later review. These concepts are flowing along the new energetic pathways and are looking for a receptive and resonating humanity, to embrace and manifest them into their reality. Those who receive these ideas must act upon the impetus in a way that is in alignment with the skills and talents they carry individually. Many people will receive the same ideas and will carry them forth into manifestation, in a totally new and unique way from another who has different talents and abilities. All serves a greater good. There is emerging within each individual, a greater willingness to move beyond former limitations of perception, in an attempt to see those around them with greater compassion and understanding. They desire to open their hearts in fellowship and oneness with their sisters and brothers, and this movement will become more pronounced as each day passes. Old enmities and dissonance between individuals will begin to melt away, as each person strives to expand their personal boundaries, to include the sovereign right of their neighbor to express their own individuality within the collective field, to which all are connected. Each begins to follow that which resonates and feels good to them. Life takes on a genuine sweetness of being, which fills each person with joy and delight in the expression of it. People will rediscover and act upon youthful aspirations that they had in their earlier decades of life, and will find that these aspirations can now find physical expression. All their former dreams now come to the forefront and find expression. This will serve to give people a new lease on life as their renewed creativity now brings fruition and fulfillment in their daily lives. They remember to dream big and allow the expansion to occur. They realize that they now have opportunity to follow their visions and passions and allow these concepts a prominent place in their priorities. Each individual contributes their unique abilities in a way that is joyful and expanding to them, and they will find that their gifts are sought by others for the value contained within the truths and the beauty that they hold. In this manner, the divine spark within each person can be ignited into a bright and ever-burning flame of love and inspiration that expands into infinity. Until next week, I am Hilarion.
Alright, very nice message from Hilarion or Hilarion, whichever one it actually is. Alright, that brings us to the next passage in the Warrior of the Light. Today we are on page 72. The Warrior of the Light unwittingly takes a false step and plunges into the abyss. Ghosts frighten him and solitude torments him. His aim has been to fight the good fight, and he has never imagined that this would happen to him, but it did. Shrouded in darkness, he makes contact with his master. "Master, I have fallen into the abyss," he says. "The waters are deep and dark." "Remember one thing," replies the master. "You don't drown by simply plunging into the water. You only drown if you stay beneath the surface." And the warrior uses all of his strength to escape from his predicament. Alright, brings us to our meditations. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. And exhale. Take another deep breath. And exhale again. And another deep breath. And exhale. Now let's just imagine ourselves fully energized. All of our chakras are open. Let's imagine the bottom of the spine. The chakra is red. It's the root chakra, and it's drawing the energy from the earth. At the same time, the energy at the crown, color violet, is drawing the energy from the cosmos. And the energy moves from the head down and from the root chakra upward. And as it moves up, it moves to the next chakra, which is orange in color, around the belly button. And the energy from the top moves down from the crown chakra to the third eye, where it is color indigo. And then it continues to move down further to the throat chakra, which is blue, and the chakra moves up from the navel up into the solar plexus, where it's the color yellow. And finally, the two energies meet together in the heart, color green. This is the chakra of love. Let's imagine ourselves with all these chakras fully opened. Let's imagine this multicolored light of the chakras surrounding our being, expanding itself outward into the room where you are now, expanding further out into the city where you are, the state, the country, across the sea to all of the other countries on the earth. Let's just think a good thought for everybody in the world today. Let's just send out love, light, and blessings to each and every one. We pray, Heavenly Father, Heavenly Mother, that this day our hearts may be open to understanding the wisdom that the universe is expressing to us, that we might find a way to share with life all of the blessings that are shared with us, and that we make this world a better place each and every day. Take another deep breath. Exhale. Just feel the energy flowing through your being. Just think of peace, love, and happiness, and let the subconscious mind continue on that journey of peace, love, and happiness. And let's bring the conscious mind back to the present moment on the count of 3. 3, coming back to the present moment filled with confidence. 2, coming back to the present moment filled with faith. And 1, coming back to the present moment happy, healthy, and whole. Happy, healthy, and whole. Take another deep breath. Exhale. And open your eyes. That's it, my friends. That is the show for today. Thank you very much for being here. Hope you have a wonderful day today. I'll be back on Friday. Till then, you have an awesome day. I love you. Keep loving each other, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace. I'm out of here.